Now I'm going to show you how to do a search in PubMed. First, I am accessing the database through the library's webpage. If you're a CWRU student, staff, or faculty member, you can also access PubMed through the library's webpage. This allows you to access any full text we have subscriptions to. You can certainly access PubMed at pubmed.gov. Anyone can for free. However, you will only have access to full text that is open access and is freely available. So check your library's website to see if PubMed is connected to it. Ask your librarians if you are unsure. So we will enter the keywords we came up with in our PICO table. We'll start with the addiction concept and enter each term. So addiction, and then substance abuse. Oops, I forgot to put it in quotation marks. Need to do that so it searches it as a phrase. Remember, when we have all the terms searched for a concept, we will string them together with or. So we have the terms set up for addiction now, that concept. So we're going to click Advanced. This is where you see we're building our search. It's called the Search Builder. You see the two terms we've entered for our addiction concept, for our population concept, people with addiction. So let us start with addiction. We go to the Actions tab, go to the three dots, and select Add Query. It puts it up in this query box. Then we go to the next term and add with or. So now PubMed is going to search the database for any articles that have addiction in one of the searchable fields, such as title, abstract, subject, or any articles that have substance abuse in the titles, abstract, subject, etc. So we'll click search. Okay, so now you can see we have it in one string. Then we go and do the next concept, which is our intervention. So we'll start with Ozempic. And then semaglutide. Okay, so now we have both the terms filled in for our intervention concept. So now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to click the Advanced tab. We're going to combine Ozempic with or, joining Ozempic and semaglutide. So Actions, three dots, Add Query. Next term, Actions, three dots, add with or. So same thing, it'll be searching for articles, with Ozempic in the fields or semaglutide in the fields. So once all the terms have been strung together with or, we now have our concepts filled. We want to string them together with and. So we're going to go right back into this advanced search builder. And we're now going to combine our strings, our intervention string and our addiction string, our population problem string. So number 3, Actions, Add Query. Number 6, the string for our intervention, add with and this time. because now we're saying any articles that we bring back must have both of these concepts in them. And click search. So you can see it narrowed it all the way down to 20 results. That's a good example of how OR broadens the search. Let me just go to advanced real quick. See, the results we got when we used the OR are in the thousands. When we use the AND operator, it goes down to 20. So while we're here on the results page, let's work on our display options. So in format, you can change this to be abstract so that the abstract shows up front. And oftentimes it defaults to 10 versus 200. You can change that. So if it defaulted to 10, you could then change it to 200. That way you don't have a bunch of page breaks. Also, sometimes it defaults to best match, which can be appealing, but it's more efficient to have most recent checked first. And you do that here. Okay. So now let's just look at one of the articles. We'll just take this first one. We're not going to look at the full text of the article. We're going to look at the record. So within the record, you see here's the citation, which you need to know sometimes when you're creating, well, you always need to know it if you're creating a citation for this article. And then you see full text links are here. You can see that they're free. Then you can see you can create a citation automatically with this button. If you look down through to the bottom of the abstract, you see keywords that the author has supplied, and these can be helpful for when you're filling in your keywords for your concepts. Okay. So since we have 20 results, that's not a huge number, and I would generally not filter it down any more than that. But say you had 200 or 2,000 results, and you want to narrow down how many you have to look through. You can use the filters on the left here, and there's many options. You can filter by year, so maybe you only want it to go back 5 years, which is a common time frame for biomedical clinical information. So I click 5 years, and in this case it only took one off, which can kind of tell you that it's been in the last 5 years that most of these articles have been published. You can also use the slider, and we could go all the way to the last 2 years. And we're down to 16. Then you can also use, you could do article type. If you're doing a general search and you want to get, a higher level of evidence, you can click review only. But this isn't usually used when we're doing a full comprehensive search, just to let you know that. But for purposes of, I need 10 articles, or I need to find out more about this topic myself first, review articles are good for that. Now we have only 4 results. Okay, so furthermore, additional filters, you can choose the language, and there are several languages to pick from. Species, you can have human studies only or animal studies only. If it was gender related, you could pick female or male. So if it was males that experience addiction, will Ozempic help with that. Age groups is also a popular one. There's a lot of age filters to choose from. We don't usually use these down here. So those are the main pieces of a PubMed search. I would say that if you have questions, if you run up into problems while you're doing your search, to contact your librarian. That is the most efficient way to, and sort of direct way to get help. And we are always on standby for any kind of assistance. Thank you for your attention.